Jon, at a high level, kind of put your architecture hat on and tell us, explain kind of what the requirements are for a credit union leaders to think about as far as what they need to, if they're going to explore crypto strategy from an architectural standpoint, what they need to be looking for or at.
Yeah, so all these things that Travis just identified are completely on point, and we're going to see we're going to see things like the G20 summit globally, prioritizing global crypto regulations later this year, probably around September, October. We're going to see U.S. banks become very interested in stable coins, and that's the segue into the architecture that we need to be looking at, I think, in the credit union industry. And the reason that we're going to see this Loomis bill and others drive banks towards stablecoins is that it's basic math. Banking institutions have to recapture this capital, because we're talking now about hundreds of billions of dollars of capital that have left the banking industry and have no need to come back unless the banks start processing that data. So that's the key. If you want to build a strategy and an architecture to be relevant in the face of money becoming part of the internet, you have to make a very important decision. Do you believe that you'll be able to remain relevant in the future by just bolting on attachments and letting somebody else process this data for you, like an outsourced mortgage or an outsourced credit card or an outsourced investment account? Or do you believe and understand that what's happening is money is becoming digital, it's becoming one with the internet, and if you want to be in the money business, you will have to be involved in processing this data inside your business. You won't be able to be in the money business without handling, storing, processing this data. That's my analysis and estimation at this point, and what our firm is, guiding products and strategy toward. So that's a big problem for most credit union executives that they need to be looking at, because the most of the data processing systems and organizational architectures we have in the credit union industry are really there are two things. They're predicated only on the electronic dollar, NACHA, ACH, EFT, debit and credit card rails. That's it. And they're not incredibly open and real time, most of them, and able to tie into these networks and process this data. And also, credit unions have gone down a path in the last 20 years where they've primarily leaned on business intelligence systems and like next day, next week, next month data archives to run their business. But we're talking about money becoming a real-time internet-connected data reality and phenomenon. So credit unions are going to have to look at strategically how they store and process real-time data and money becoming data, and how they're going to tie it into these digital networks for delivery and connection to their consumers. If they just rely on vendors and platforms and third-party providers, I'm afraid that's strategically basically going to be cutting themselves out of the equation for being in the money business in the future.